Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amirul Hafizi bin Ahmad Sabri with Ahmad Nazmi bin Muhammad Yusof. In this video, we will present about chapter 4, metal casting. For the first subtopic, fundamentals of metal casting. The first thing, what is casting? Casting is the process in which molten metal flows by gravity or other forces into mold where it solidifies in the shape of the mold cavity that we need. There are three simple steps in casting. The first one is melt the metal. Pour it into a mold and let it freeze. As you can see in the figure that's shown, the figure A is the open mold, meanwhile for the B figure is the closed mold. Heating. Heating means we put the metal into the heating furnace of various until the temperature reach above its melting temperature, so the metal will melt and can be poured into a mold. Pouring is the process where we let the metal flow into a mold so it can separate to all regions into mold before it solidify, especially to it reach the main cavity. Solidification process. Solidification can be simple, meaning by the metal liquid turn into the solid. The liquid change into solid during cooling. The energy of liquid is less than of the solid above the melting point. Hence, the liquid is stable above the melting point. Below the melting point, the energy of liquid become more than that of the solid. Hence, below the melting point, the solid becomes more stable than the liquid. Therefore, at the melting point, liquid get converted into solid during cooling. This transformation of liquid into solid below melting point is known as solidification. Solidification process can be classified to metal, ceramics, polymer and polymer metric composites. For the next subtopic, metal casting process. Sand casting. Sand casting is widely used for casting process because it almost can be used for all alloys. Sand casting can be used for metal because of its high melting points. However, for the sand casting method process, a new sand mold must be made for each part produced, since the mold is removed after the casting is removed. As you can see in the figure, there are types of pattern for the sand casting. A. Solid pattern. B. Split pattern. C. Match plate pattern. And D. Cob and drag pattern. Besides the sand casting process, there are other expandable mold casting process. First, shell molding. It casting process which the mold is a thin shell made of sand held together by thermosetting resin binder. The second one is vacuum molding. It uses a sand mold held together by a vacuum pressure rather than a chemical binder. The third one is expanded polystyrene process. It used a mold of sandpaper around a polystyrene foam pattern, which vaporizes when the molten metal is poured into a mold. The fourth, investment casting. It's a pattern made of wax is coated with a refractory metal to make the mold, after which wax is melted prior to pouring the molten metal. Next, plaster mold casting. Similar to sand casting, except that the mold made of plaster of Paris, or you can say gypsum. And the last casting is ceramic mold. It's similar to a plastic mold, except that the mold is made of a refractory ceramic material that can withstand higher temperature than plaster. That's all from me. Thank you.